Hey doll, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to share with you guys a very special video, and that's my 1-year update on living in Atlanta. Can we just give a round of applause real quick for me actually taping a video in the daytime? I know, I usually tape it at night because my days are so busy. But I am actually getting this done. It has been months. I think probably almost a year since I've taped a video using natural daylight. So let's just clap it up for that, okay? But also, I can't believe it's already been a year since I've been living in Atlanta. To be honest, because the way this year has gone with the quarantine and all of that, it honestly has been feeling just strange. I've had days where I'm like, am I even in Atlanta? Am I still in Virginia? Like, it's really weird. It's very, very weird. But nevertheless, that year went by quick. Like, whew, y'all, time flies. So for those who don't know, my family left Virginia. Actually, my sister left Virginia October 17th, 2019. She came ahead a day before us, just to kind of like get settled in what we thought we would be settling into the house that we applied for. And then my mom, my son, and I left Virginia on October 18th, 2019. And so it has been, by the time you see this video, it'll be just about like, what, 2 days shy of a year. So yeah, it's really flown by. I can't believe how much has been done. And in this video, I really just want to go over like my thoughts of Atlanta now. So it'll kind of be like part 2 to the pros and cons video that I had a couple months ago, but just my impressions of it now. So before I dive into my pros and cons and my thoughts today, I just want to kind of roll back some clips of when we were leaving Virginia and when we were looking to, you know, leave, like house hunting when we actually left and when we first got here. So I'm gonna just put some really quick clips and then I'll be back and share my thoughts. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today is Thursday, October 3rd. My son is in the back seat and my mom and sister are in our leasing office. We are getting ready to head down to Atlanta to look at places. And y'all, this has been quite the journey. So we are just praying that this trip goes very, very smooth and exceptionally well. We're hoping that we find a good place. It's the city of Atlanta and the region, the metro region, is very big compared to like what we're used to. We're coming from a small town in Central Virginia, but before that we lived in the DMV, for those of you who don't know. So compared to the DMV and definitely compared to where we live now, the region is very big. So we're just hoping that it goes very smooth and we find a home that we love and that people just are cooperative, you know, because it hasn't been the smoothest so far, but that's going to be for another video another time. So I'll try to check in here and there. I'm about to be driving. You guys know I love my road trips, so I'll check in later on. I'll see you guys. Yeah, hey guys, so today was a very productive day looking at homes. We saw only one, unfortunately. We wanted to see 2 others, but one never sent us the access code to the realtor to get in, and the other one, she sent me the access code, but we couldn't get in. So I'm like, maybe guys just didn't want us to see those 2 homes today. But we saw one that we really liked, and it's been on the market for a couple of months, so we're praying that we get it. Right now, we are at, what is this place? Fried Tomato Buffet in Kennesaw. So we are excited to try it out and just see what they have. Okay, thanks. We're excited to try it out and see what they have here because they don't have this in Virginia. And then we're gonna head back to the hotel, probably chill out, walk around somewhere, and then head back to the hotel. So I will check in later, but we are hoping that we get the home that we want. Are you excited to try the food? Okay, I'll check in later. Well guys, this is it for VA. He's just waking up. But we have finally finished packing up everything in Virginia. In the house, you can see it's empty. This is just one room, but this is very surreal. Like, I've been in Virginia for 8 years, a little over 8 years. I've been in the DMV area my whole life. I've lived in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, obviously. So it's weird. It's like I'm excited, but I'm nervous. I don't know what to expect, but I'm eager at this point to get there because this has been a very, very long day, but just packing up and having to, you know, tie up some loose ends at the last minute. So here we come, Georgia. Here we come. Hey guys, welcome back to Daily Delle. If this is your first time here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is listed below. I'm daily_Delle on Instagram. Sorry, I don't really use my Snapchat and I don't have a Twitter, but feel free to follow me on there or on Facebook at Daily Delle. You can find my page and stay up to date with me on there as well. As you guys can see, I am still in the U-Haul. It is Friday, October 18th. I know I was supposed to be in Georgia by now because for those of you who do follow me on Instagram, I was supposed to leave yesterday to head down to Georgia and move. Don't mind the hood on my jacket either because it's like 40 something degrees right now in Virginia, barely 50 degrees. And it's just a lot of last minute stuff going on. So like yesterday, my son had his allergy appointment to make sure that he's not allergic to fish or anything like that. That appointment was supposed to be 2 hours, ended up being like almost 4 hours long. My son was restless and just kind of like, get me out of here, because it was a long, boring appointment. But nevertheless, we left that appointment. We were trying to hustle at the last minute to find movers and get a U-Haul truck solidified, the booking and everything. Got all that. Movers came. The truck ended up not being big enough, the truck that we were able to get, to hold everything that we had. So we literally had to like let go of a ton of stuff. Like, we're barely walking with anything. Granted, a lot of the furniture we had to get rid of because it wouldn't fit. We had already thought about getting rid of it anyway because it's pretty old. My mom bought that furniture when we had our house in Maryland, like 20 something years ago, like 21, 22 years ago. So we had already toyed with the idea of getting rid of it just to start fresh since we're moving. But the fact that you have to make that last minute decision is crazy. And I'm telling y'all, like, my life is never straightforward, right? Like, God blesses me tremendously and he shows up and shows out tremendously. But I always go through some things in the midst of it. I never have just like an easy peasy, oh, I woke up and everything was just aligned and everything just worked out great. Like, it's always a journey. I'm always going through the fire, but you know what? It makes me stronger in the end. So it is what it is. And it just makes my work ethic out of this world. But the movers ended up not finishing up till like 2 hours later than they were supposed to. And at this point, I'm exhausted because I didn't sleep like that the night before. So we decided to take a nap and just wait till today to leave because we have the U-Haul for 4 days and I could call them and extend it if I need to without paying a hefty price. But needless to say, we're still in Virginia. So hopefully today we're leaving like out gone and we have smooth sailing. I will say though that if you watched my house hunting vlog, the house that I had mentioned that I really liked, I think I mentioned in that video, honestly I can't even remember at this point, but the house that we had really liked that we saw and we applied to, I will say that actually looks like it's coming through. I hope that it actually does come through because there's another one that's kind of as a backup option that wouldn't be bad. We couldn't get into that one, so when we get to Atlanta we're supposed to go into that and do a self-guided tour and see how that goes. But we're just hoping that either one of them work out because they're both kind of in the balance and they're both great options for various reasons. So y'all pray for your girl because I'm ready to get there and just settle down. But I'll try to keep you guys updated and so you can see how things are going as the move is going. So let's get this show on the road. At this point, the church friend calls us and says that the person that was going to give us the place to rent had to change their mind because they weren't moving or whatever the case was. So that went out the window because now we can't stay there because they're going to be there. And now we really have no options. So we start looking around at property management homes and things like that. And again, I see roaches coming out. I see wires sticking out. It's just like the homes just aren't well kept. And so we're like, are we ever going to find a place here? So then fast forward to, like last week, we found an Airbnb and we were staying there. And the woman was really nice, really, really nice, sweet lady. We found a home that we absolutely loved looking through the property management companies and we applied for it. But we literally got a denial in less than 24 hours. Like, I woke up Sunday morning and they were like, we can't give it to you because X, Y, Z, this, that, the third. It basically boiled down to our credit. Like I had mentioned, our credit is in a stage of rebuilding, so it's not absolutely terrible, but it's not perfect either. And they just were like, no, it's not going to work. And what pissed me off about that was that the lady who is like the agent or the rep for the house, because the property management companies, they'll have like realtors that represent the homes and stuff, and they're the ones that you talk to if you need to. And that rep for that house that we love, she was like, oh yeah, if you put in the application, I should be able to like get you an approval or work something out in case, anything comes back. If you're willing to pay too much rent, you should be upfront. You should be able to get the house because we've taken people with less credit, with worse credit, I mean. And when we hit her up and we gave her the application, denial or whatever, she was like, oh, well, there's nothing I can do. And that really pissed me off. It's like, again, people don't realize that your word is your bond. Do not say that you can do this or you're going to help somebody with that or, you've got this sort of connection or power. If you really don't, just be honest and say like, look, what the system says is what it is. All right, guys, as promised, this is the house tour. Doorbell. Welcome home. So this is the foyer. You can see all the stuff out because we literally just moved in today. This is the dining room. We have great plans for this. We already saw the chairs we like, and my mom has a Chip and Dale dining room table that we've had for like 20 years at this point. That's probably one of the clunky pieces of furniture that I actually like, because my mom likes that big, like, Renaissance-y furniture. And then you walk here. This is the powder room. So I like the space. Ooh, don't mind me, I'm looking real rough right now. So those were the clips. I mean, like I said, it's crazy to just look back and see how far God brings you within a year's time and how much actually happens within a year's time. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just dive into my pros, my cons, and my final thoughts of ATL. So I can't remember every single topic or category I covered in the first pros and cons, so I'm gonna just go off the top of my head. This is from the heart. This is genuine how I feel right now. So, and again, like I said in that video, no shade if you're a native ATL, you know, person. If you've been here your whole life, born and raised, this is no shade, but this is just my impression. So I'll start with the people, because I do remember I talked about that. So my impressions of ATL people today, having lived here for a year, I'm still not too fond of them, to be honest. My thoughts haven't changed a ton on that. I think mostly the people that I've met here that I'm cool with are not native ATL residents, you know, like they weren't born and raised here. I've met a handful, like less than five or six, who are native, and they're cool. You know, I haven't met some of them in person. Some of them I just know online, and they're cool. But as far as like people that I've met in person, I've only met one in person that I could think of right now, and he was really cool. But other than that, everybody that I click with the best down here are not natives. Some have been here for a couple of years well, so they might as well be natives, but they were not originally born and raised here. And so I just think that for a while, I don't really see this changing, but I just think that Atlanta is the type of city that's always gonna have a strange vibe when it comes to people, you know, because again, this is a mecca for entertainment, it's a mecca for business, it's Black Hollywood. So a lot of people come here with the goal in mind to be somebody. You know, they're coming here trying to make it big in media, they're coming here trying to make it big in business, they're trying to make a name for themselves and become a household name in some way, shape, or form. And because you get so many people moving here, because I believe the numbers are still about 20,000 people a month, about 1,000 people a day, you're gonna get all sorts of personalities, and it's gonna drain out the actual like native essence of the city, if that makes sense. So it's still iffy depending on which part of the city I'm in. The vibe is better than others, or I should say which part of the suburbs I'm in, the vibe is better than others, but it's real hit or miss. The people here are really hit or miss. I pretty much keep to myself. I mingle with people for business, but most of my day-to-day communication are with people who are not in the Atlanta area. So I don't really dive too much into relationships with folks. I've been burned one too many times in a year's time span. So I'm like, I'm just here to, you know, secure the bag, to walk out purpose. God has me here for a reason, and that's what I'm here for. If I make friends, I make friends. If I don't today or next week, then it is what it is. I'm all about just purpose and being obedient at this point. I stopped trying to, you know, see something in people that is not there, or to just try to like, I wouldn't even say finesse, but to try to like work out friendships if it's just not meant to be. So I'm in the cut, I'm doing my thing. That's just where I'm at with the people, but I can really take them or leave them. Like, that's just what it is. No shade. Like I said, no shade. If you're a native ATL person, and if you are and that's not you, then let's be friends. You know, let's just DM me, let's chat. Maybe you might change my mind. So as far as careers, now regular like 9-to-5 careers, I can't really speak on that because I have not worked a 9-to-5 job since I've been here. I haven't worked a 9-to-5 job in over 5 years, to be honest. Well, actually, no, I'm lying. I did work a 9-to-5 job that was 100% remote for 2 years, but I have not worked like an actual, I get out the house, you know, go sit in the office or cubicle type 9-to-5 in over 5 years. So can't really speak to corporate America. I still think, as far as just off the cuff of what I know, I still think the DC area is better than Atlanta as far as stable careers and abundance of careers. I just feel like it's easier to get a job there, but also they're not getting an influx of people at the rate of Atlanta. Atlanta's getting a ton of people every single day. DC has a lot of transplants, but it's a more steady, slow and steady pace for the most part. You know, it's definitely not as many people per day. So it's just, or per month. So it's just easier to get a career that's high paying in DC, but for the cost of living, down here definitely is better. So I will give Atlanta better props for cost of living. Now, it's not as cheap okay, because my rent went up. I'm about to renew my lease and I'm like, whoa, okay, you know, like this is kind of creeping up to DC prices now. So, you know, it's a hit or miss. I feel like Atlanta is not catching up income wise to the cost of living at the rate at the rate of DC. Sorry, y'all, I can't talk today. It's just I'm all over the place. You know, corporate America is kind of iffy. Now, as far as business, and particularly if you are a fellow creative entrepreneur, meaning you are a content creator, an influencer, a blogger, a YouTuber, a musician, an actual artist, like anything that's like in the creatives, but you're trying to be an entrepreneur in that, Atlanta is phenomenal with that. Like I don't really feel like I could beat it. I told my best friend the other day, if I moved from Atlanta, I would more than likely either move to LA, or as I get more established, I will move to Houston or Miami. Like I feel like Atlanta is just the place to be if you're a creative entrepreneur. This year has really proven that for me. I've been featured on various publications, various platforms, between podcasts, radio shows, you know, almost a TV show, but that kind of fell through at the last minute, you know, but I went through the taping and everything. So it's like, and all of that came because I'm in Atlanta, because not all of them told me how they found me, but a lot of them did. And they would say like, oh, I was searching the Atlanta Moms hashtag or the Atlanta Influencer hashtag, or, you know, just something in Atlanta. And I would come up and they would see my page, kind of watch, and then pitch me. So being here is ample opportunity if you're a creative entrepreneur, even if you're like a more regular mainstream entrepreneur. So let's say you want to open just like a brick and mortar store or something. There's plentiful opportunity here for business. So I still think Atlanta has DC beat with that, because I'm positive if I were still in the DC area, and definitely if I was still in Central Virginia, like the Richmond area, I would not be getting this level of recognition at this rate, not in a year's time, because I've only been doing this not even a year and a half yet. And I'm already like, you know, jumping through so many hurdles that a lot of people take years to even scratch the surface on. So being here is great for opportunity. Everyone's eyes are on Atlanta. So if you're a creative entrepreneur watching this, I would highly suggest Atlanta, but come here and be on your grind. Don't come here just trying to, you know, finesse or clout your way to the top. Like, put in the work, be yourself, be authentic, have integrity, and you will see the success, because all eyes, like I said, are always on Atlanta. So I would give Atlanta that. As far as housing, and I'll kind of touch on this with cost of living, but housing and cost of living and just, you know, that kind of thing. I would give Atlanta a slightly higher advantage than DC, because again, I just feel like they're not catching up with the incomes to the cost of living. Like, cost of living is getting to DC prices, but you're not getting DC income. And even as an entrepreneur, I'm still a pretty new entrepreneur doing this full time, so my income is nowhere near what I was making in the government right now. Now give me another year and it's gonna be on and popping, you know? But yeah, like, so I would give Atlanta that. As far as the dating scene, what are my thoughts on the dating scene? So I told you guys in the last video that all the people that I'm meeting for the most part are online, and online I'm not really meeting guys in Atlanta. Like, the site matches me to mostly guys between Florida and Alabama. So those guys have been cool. I've been talking to them, but again, I just don't feel like I've met anybody who actually has a chance to have longevity with me. I feel like they're great friends, great guys, just not for me and where I see my life going, but great guys. I would never like take away their good qualities or their good character or nothing like that, but great for someone else, just not for me. So as far as dating actual ATL men, I've gotten hollered at on several occasions when I was still doing Uber Eats and DoorDash, and even now if I like go to Walmart, or I decide, let me just hop in the car, do a few Uber Eats rides, just cause I might get hollered at. You know, guys might strike up conversation, but it never gets far, so I really can't rate ATL. I just feel like everybody here is so focused on their grind, so focused on their goals, that you kind of just have to go with the flow. Like, it's hard to even rate the dating scene because there's no gray area. It's either everyone's playing the field, depending on the circles you move in, or like I said, they're hyper focused on their goals. And so you kind of just have to focus on your growth. You got to focus on what you're trying to accomplish, and a relationship will come at the time that it's supposed to come if you're looking to date locally. Now, if you're open to dating outside of the ATL area, then there are plenty of options. I just haven't really been digging that hard into it because, like I said, I'm just getting back into it, and I have so many other things I'm trying to accomplish that it's just like, I'm taking my time with that. I'm kind of just letting God and nature take its course. So what else? What else can I rate ATL on? As far as community, I can't really rate. Again, this year was a flop with community overall. I did do a couple of online churches and stuff, and that was cool, but I can't say I found like a church home that I want to plant my roots in or anything like that. So that's that. As far as social life is bomb. I can't even lie. I feel like I would probably give Atlanta a slight advantage on DC. Definitely an advantage over Richmond when it comes to social life. There's always something going on. Like any night of the week that I go out and, like I said, I'm running errands, or I might just decide to do a few deliveries, I always see something going on in the city. I don't care if it's a small event. I don't care if it's a random play in Ponce City Market. I don't care if it's like, I don't know. It's just always something. Like you can always find something to do any day of the week in the Atlanta area, the Atlanta metro area. So, and there's something to tickle anybody's fancy, whether you're into nightlife, whether you're into day parties, whether you're into, you know, like sports, whether you're into comedy, whether you're into just like spiritual and Christian-based events. Like there's always something going on here for all types of people, family-oriented, everything. So you can't beat it, and there's still so much that I want to explore and so much that I want to partake in, and I'm already thinking about how I'm gonna do it, because now that the state is pretty much opening back up for the most part, like I don't even think people are really quarantining at this point in Atlanta. So I'm like, okay, what are some things that I can do, especially since there's a lot of birthdays coming up in my family this time of year. So I'm like, I want to go to the Trap Museum, I want to go to Old Lady Gang, I want to go to the aquarium, I want to go back to the World of Coca-Cola, I want to go to the Chick-fil-A, I think it's the Chick-fil-A Museum. I'm about to be dipping and doing it all over the city between my son's birthday, my mom's birthday, and just different stuff as things continue to just slowly get back to normal, right? So nightlife, social life, everything in Atlanta is amazing. DC is not bad, but the DC area it's not as plentiful in variety. So I feel like if you like to do water activities, because it's on the Potomac River, boat rides, you know, paddle boating, things like that, DC's great for that. Brunch, people love to brunch in DC, and people brunch here too, but you know, DC is a big brunch city. People love the movies and museums, you know, things like that. Nightlife is so in DC, but I'm kind of washed up when it comes to that because I haven't clubbed and all that in years. So don't take my word for it. You know, if you're younger than me and you've been to DC recently and you still in that scene, maybe you could comment down below and help some folks out. But for me, I'm kind of washed up. I stopped partying hard in like 2015. So I don't know. Can't really help you with that. Actually, before 2015, like 2013 or 14, I stopped partying hard. So can't really help with that one. Richmond is even worse because it's a small city, so there's really not a lot going on. That's really a city where you go out to eat, you go to the movies, you might hit up like a restaurant lounge type place, and that's about it. So Atlanta definitely has both of those places beat. I can't complain at all. And there's just a lot that I'm looking forward to doing in the city. And I'm trying to think if there's any other categories that I can rate. So I think overall, I pretty much covered the main ones. I would say, okay, so in the first video, I said I was on the fence about Atlanta. I was 50-50. You know, I really couldn't make a decision either way. Now, I would say that I'm about 60-40. So I'm 60% in favor of Atlanta, 40% not in favor. And the only reason why it became 60%, before y'all are like, yeah, the native ATL people, the only reason why it became 60% is because, like I said, now that I'm kind of out of the flames and I'm seeing why God has me here, that's what really has changed it to 60%. I don't absolutely love Atlanta, and I highly doubt that I would live here the rest of my life, let alone retire here. But I can say that I see why God has me here, and just being in the right place at the right time can open you up to so many opportunities. And if I was not in Atlanta, I would not have been blessed with a lot of the opportunities that I got this year. Like literally my location gave me favor. And so if you are new here, or you're looking to move to Atlanta and you are looking to become a creative entrepreneur or whatever the sort, you know, I'm doing that full time now. So I would say like, it's a great place to be. Just do not come here thinking that it's going to be all that what you see on TV. First of all, the city is not that big. Square mileage wise, the city of Atlanta is not that big. It's the metro area that makes it feel big, and everything's so spread out. So, you know, don't think you're going to come here and it's going to be like New York 2.0 and, you know, all these opportunities are just going to fall in your lap. You got to work for it because it is competitive, but it just lets you know that there's something here for people to keep coming here and seeing success. So just come here ready to work. Come here ready to keep your nose to the ground. Don't get too caught up with every Tom, Dick, and Harry and random friendships. Have discernment and just know that you're here for a reason. You know, do the praying, do the fasting, seek God in your decision, and make sure that He wants you here for this season. Because if He wants you here, even if it looks grim, even if it looks like, why am I here? What in the world is going on? You're going to be blessed through the storm. Because when I moved here, I never would have guessed that I would have been homeless. And I'm trying not to get teary-eyed, but I never would have guessed that I would have been homeless. And a year later, I'm a full-time entrepreneur, full-time creative entrepreneur, and I'm seeing the blessing and I'm seeing what God has done in a year's time. So it might not always be rainbows and butterflies. You might hit a rough patch like beyond what you can imagine. But if God wants you to be here, if God has something for you, He will make sure that you see the glory and He gets the glory out of it. So don't throw in the towel, but also don't rush the process and don't allow your agenda to supersede what God wants. So ultimately, I say that Atlanta has slowly grown on me. I do like some of the things about it. The food, amazing still. I haven't had the chance to really try a lot, and unfortunately some restaurants have closed down because of everything going on. So I won't be able to try those, but overall, it's not a bad city at all. Depending on what you're looking for and the type of life you live, it might be a place where you can see yourself spending the rest of your life. But for me, I know I'm just here for a season, and then like I said, I can see myself going elsewhere, either Miami, Houston, LA, you know, wherever God takes me. So we'll see how it all pans out. I'm just very excited to have been here a year and seen so many blessings, like I said. And I'm just grateful for all of you guys' support, because this YouTube was really a form of comfort for me when I was homeless. I started taping my YouTube videos, or really picking up my taping when I was homeless living in a hotel. And so as you can see in those clips, it was tough. It was a tough season, and it really became a form of comfort for me, and you guys really have become family. And my day one supporters who have followed me and subscribed from day one and watched the journey and been with me through content changes and, you know, all of it, I really, really appreciate you. This is not easy. It's not easy to put your life on, you know, the front line like this and for display, but I appreciate every view, every like, every comment, and just every message that you send me, letting me know that I'm encouraging you or I'm inspiring you. And if I can do it, if God can do it for me, He can do it for you. He's no respected person. So just put your trust in Him, seek His face. And if you have any questions about ATL, let me know. I'm definitely going to upload some more videos as time goes on, you know, just to help y'all out, because things change. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Instagram, daily_Delle. All my information down below. You can send me an email. Hit me up, let me know, and I look forward to hearing from you. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Like and comment on this video and share this video with a friend. Let me know if you live in ATL, if you are looking to move to ATL, if you're from ATL. Let me know down in the comments and let's chat about it. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.